Hello, this is teddygaming and welcome back to another review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Tales of a TMNT Volume 2, Issue number 8, Virus. And this story was one which I always wanted to see, just because this story is dealing with Leatherhead and how he goes back home to the Utrom, stuff like that. And this was something which I always wanted to see actually play out in like any version of the Turtles, whether that be like 2003's the Turtles or the Mirage stuff. And it's always been disappointing that like they never did that. But turns out they did, and I'm so ashamed that I didn't know about this story beforehand, because if I did, I would have read this one, and it's not really how I pictured it, and I do think that with how I was picturing how it'll go down will be a lot different. So I'm a little disappointed that it played out like this in this issue, but at the same time I'm so just happy that it happened. But I do have like a few questions at the end because of whether do leave some stuff off. So it's a great issue for what they do, and I'm so grateful that I did it. But yeah, there's some like, little things in there. Okay, so the actual story, we first start off with Leatherhead and Raphael, they're in the sewers, and it's one of those typical type of things which you do see at like every single issue for these type of things. We do get to see Raphael saying, oh yeah, let me tell you a story. But we do first start off with like Leatherhead like going on about something about how monsters and mutants or games or traps or something, and I do think it was a little bit weird that like Raph like broke the fourth wall in this bit here. I mean, sometimes I think it works for Raph, but I think that because it's the Mirage stuff, it doesn't really work too well. And I think the reason why it doesn't work well here is just because he's saying it out loud and not in his head. Because most of the time when they do these kind of stories, they always do it in, you know, like the speech bubbles in like the head, so that makes sense. So to have it like him saying it out loud, it just comes off as a little bit weird here. Okay, so with the actual main story, we do get to see Raphael. He's on the rooftops and he has a bit of a cold, and that's when we do get to see this ninja. She comes out from the shadows and she basically cuts Raphael's bandana and takes it away. And I did find this a little bit weird, and we never really find out why she does this, and it's just so strange and weird. And I guess this will be something which we do follow up on like a future issue, but I just find it so weird just because with this ninja we don't find out anything about her. She's just there, she takes the bandana and she runs off, and that's pretty much all we do find out about her character, which I just find so weird and strange. But if they do pick up on this one in like a later issue, then it'll be worth it. But for now it just seems like really weird that it's just there, it happened, and not much else really to it. But with that, we do get to see Raphael. He goes down and he chases her through like streets. Then they go down into the sewers, and that's when they just like swim through some water, and that's when they go into like a labyrinth. And we're a bit confused at where she went, but basically he finds water from like where she came out from the water, and that's when we find Leatherhead. And yeah, it's really strange with how he's presented in this issue, because first of all, he's changed since the last time we saw him, and now it's issue 45, I believe it is, of the Mirage Volume 1. And since then, he's grown and he's got bigger, and he's, I think, I've probably got tall as well. Oh, no, probably got stronger, I guess. And he's grown back his eye, which, yeah, somehow that worked. But he's also gone a bit more, like, insane, I want to say, just because he thinks that Raph is Donatello and starts to attack him. And then when Raph goes, I'm not Donatello, he still proceeds to attack him, which I just find so strange and weird. But basically after that, we do get to see both of them blacked out, and he reveals that there's a teleporter. So then coming back over to another part of the story, where we do get to see the other turtles. They're at home, and that's when Donatello finds out about this like strange reading, stuff like that. And this here was possibly one of the weirdest pages I've ever seen, just because Donatello on this one page is like, oh my god, I can't believe that like there's so many like readings, it can't be true, it can't be. And then he prints off that piece of paper and he's like, oh my god, it's true, it's true. I just find it's so strange, and we never find out where it is until like next page where it goes, oh yeah, I mean, I was looking online and there's like these electronic plates or something, you know, we gotta go find out what it is. So I just found that so weird that he's like, oh my god, I can't believe it's not real. Oh my god, it is real because I printed it off. It's just so strange and weird. But that's a thing that happens. And then the turtles do go follow what it is. and that's where we do come in contact with Leatherhead. And there's not really too much to this here, just because the teleporter comes online, Ultrams come back, and they start to shoot at the place, and they decide to bring Leatherhead back to the Ultrams by teleporting away, and they throw some bombs to the machine, and it blows up, and that's pretty much where we do leave off with this story. And it's just a weird ending with what they did for this bit, and I know that, like, I pretty much just went like rapid pace going through that bit there, but there wasn't much to it. It was just, that's really what happened, and I wish I could like say a lot more, but there's not much more I can really say other than just what I just said. So overall, this issue has been pretty interesting and really great, and this was the kind of story which I was really looking forward to reading, just because when, I don't know, I think like it's always one of these kind of stories that it's always been like a loose end, which I never really thought would ever be picked up, just because, you know, it's Leatherhead, he doesn't really get too much attention, so I'm glad that they're giving more attention to him and actually wrapping stories up and all that. And I do think that this was like a really great one to really wrap up, because this is one which I was so like annoyed that I never really revisited or ever again, but now knowing that I did, it's great, but at the same time it's just like, huh, really, this is how they did it. It's just so strange that out of all the stories and of how, like, all the possibilities they could have done with this storyline, this was the one which I went for, which wasn't, I mean, it was good, but it's just so, I don't know, I feel like there's ways they could have gone around it in like a much better way, but it's so annoying because I wanted it to be better. Now, the art itself was something which I must admit I was quite surprised at, just because I'm pretty sure I've seen this artist before, and I feel like he's like an Archie Adventure Tale artist, but I don't think so. But I know I've definitely seen his artwork before, but I can't exactly say, oh yeah, he did this issue or something like that. But it was interesting artwork, and it was like really great artwork, which I would like to see again, just because the artwork was like a bit cartoony, a bit mirage-y. I don't know how to really explain it, but I feel like when you do look at his artwork and be like, yeah, wow, that's really great. I wish I could say much more than that, but there's not much to it other than just what I've said, and yeah. Now, unfortunately for this issue, there's no trivia, and when I look online for the Totalpedia page, there was like a very, how would I say this, lack of content on there. There wasn't really much on there compared to like other issues, which has like so many like stuff on there, which have like synopsis, the breakdown of the issue, quotes, you know, trivia bits. But this issue barely had anything on that page, so I don't know if that means like this issue doesn't have too much really say about it, or people don't know about the story, or people just don't want to talk about this issue. So I find it a little bit weird. And also with this issue, I must admit, I'm so like confused and weirded out by this. Like not many people were talking about this issue. The fact that they did do something with Leatherhead and, you know, bringing back to Ultrams. That's just something which I just find so weird that that not many more people are talking about it, because this seems like a very important issue, and especially if like you're like a Leatherhead fan, you'll be talking about this more. But you don't hear anyone talking about this issue, and I'm just so confused by that. But yeah, other than that, I do think that this issue was good enough, I want to say. I mean, I do feel like there was definitely elements of this issue that definitely could have been improved upon, and I do think that there are some bits in this issue that will they be explored in other issues, like especially with like the female ninja and stuff like that. And like Leatherhead, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be returning, because I mean, it'll be a pretty big mistake, because in the Volume 4 stuff, he's there at Splinter's funeral. So I do find that a bit weird, so maybe, hopefully, they will explore it a bit more. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think that this issue was good enough, but definitely elements they could have explored a lot more. But yeah, if that's gonna be it for today, guys. If it doesn't, please share and let's just grab on stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.